Ooh, hey everyone, I'm Paul Cram. You know, without fail, every once a year, the holidays come, and oh, don't get me wrong. Actually, I really do enjoy the holiday season. There's so much to enjoy and appreciate, and kind of fall in love with during that time of year. During I actually think, I think of Halloween, I think of good candy, I think of fun costumes and those kind of things. That leads into November, and that brings with it a lot of cooler weather, which is nice. Um, I think autumn is beautiful, and in the fall, there is Thanksgiving. And along with Thanksgiving comes a lot of really tasty food and cozy. I always think of like cozy weather um, around Thanksgiving. Um, and then comes Christmas, which um, I do really enjoy. And I enjoy family, and I enjoy friends, and I enjoy, oh gosh, eggnog and the lights and kind of the hustle and bustle of getting ready for Christmas. Um, Within all of this, though, and kind of the what I wanted to kind of just talk about and think about is how hard it can be too. Like, I think the holidays bring so much good and cheer and stuff, but it also brings a lot of stuff, a lot of baggage per se. For myself, I think of people that I don't necessarily see throughout the year. Um, I'm gonna include family in this. Like there's family, and Catherine, if you listen to this, my friend Catherine and I talk about this a lot too. Like it seems like the holidays it brings out really good things in people, but it also brings out, um, for me, like, oh my gosh, it brings out ex-boyfriends, and I can't be alone in this. Please, somebody tell me I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not. Like my friend Catherine, she's for some reason it seems like around the holidays, her and I get texts and stuff from exes um of many years ago. And I'm assuming that's not like unique just to us. I'm sure that that happens to other people as well. Um, with good reason, with good reason. I know that, like, again, the holiday season can be really lonely, and it can be that time where it's like, there's wonderful expectations and things like that, but it can also be devastatingly lonely. Um, and I'm only chuckling too because I'm guilty of some of that stuff. I mean, I don't know, you pull out your phone and it's like, "How you doing?" Or something like that, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's it's so ridiculous. Um, but I'm kind of going off on a little rabbit trail there. The thing for myself, the things that I've kind of been bouncing around in my head lately, in regard to the holidays that are coming up and, past holidays and getting together with family and extended family, um it can be so layered and so multifaceted, and sometimes it's not, sometimes it's super simple, just those challenges that we have with family and with friends and with people, but a lot of times I think it's family. I know for myself, family gatherings and stuff are beautiful and wonderful, but, for me, like, there's specific people that um I have wounds with, and I don't know that they like, currently, right in as I'm recording this too, like, I don't want people to take this as like, "Oh, I'm trying to air out my dirty laundry on social media," or things like that. That's not my intent. My intent is to, um, open up some dialogue with listeners and stuff too, because I know that this is, again, not unique to me. I know that there's family stuff can get so challenging and so multifaceted and so almost twisted. Like I love I don't actually remember the book that I was reading, but it was all about family, and it was about dynamics, and it was about kind of dealing with people that you have hard times with and things like that, and specifically with family. Um, and it was um, they used a metaphor of like family is kind of like a wood plank and a screw, like this tiny little piece of metal, and it has grooves on it, and you twist it and turn it and twist it and turn it, and it gets down inside the wood, and it has so much strength that actually it almost shouldn't. Like, it's like these two things, it's like, they shouldn't have this kind of strength and power, but they do, and it twists on each other, and I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting metaphor for family and for those dynamics and those hard times that we have with people, and, like, yeah, the holidays are coming up, and I don't know. For me, I think of, I'm gonna actually use the metaphor of, I'm gonna use actually some from my past, the not metaphor, just some of my relationships with ex-boyfriends, because I think that that's a little bit more, maybe safe territory in the context of, I'm not trying to hurt my family, and I'm not trying to hurt people that I don't maybe have the best working relationships at the moment. So, and, they could come across as, um, so I don't want to, like, be putting that out there, I guess is what I'm getting at. Um, but I do want to still have conversation and still have, I don't know, monologue, I guess is a better word than conversation. Um, I suppose it can be kind of weird actually to use an X as I don't know. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I have often I say this all the time, but I have way more questions than answers, I feel like, in life. And I've been questioning for myself. I'm like, where am I at with certain people? I know that I'm going to see some people, family we're not in great places or spaces. Um, and I know that that's life, and that's being human, and that's being pretty real, I guess. If there's one thing that I really annoys me is, the idea or notion that every single person that you ever come across in life is going to like you. That's so not real. Family is one of those things too. I suppose that should fall into that category for me. Like, it's like, yeah, not every single family member that you have is going to like you. They probably should love you, but there's that kind of gray area that exists, for not gray area. I don't even know. Has anybody heard this expression, like, we love family, but we may not necessarily like them? Which I think can sound awful, but I feel like it's true. It's like, yeah, love you as a human and as a sibling or whatever. Don't like you right now. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's I don't even know where some of this is going, but um for me, I keep asking myself that question lately, which is, it's like, with specific, because again, the holidays are coming up. I'm going to be interacting with some people, and I'm like, huh, huh, huh. And it's like, it's that internal thing, that feeling, um that desire that I have, that it's like me, Paul Cram. I want to have what? I want to have, oftentimes I think it's resolution. Um, and I don't think that you're always me. I don't think I'm always going to be able to get that, which is so frustrating. I'd love to approach all of my relationships in life with the thought that it's like, we can work through this. We can work through it. Meaning, um, talking things through, or displaying through our words and actions, like, we can work through and get to a place where people all we would understand one another and come to a good place of being able to have a relationship, be that with a boyfriend, girlfriend, be that with a partner, a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, a cousin, an uncle, a friend, whatever the relationship is, that those could be built out in into a healthy place where there's give and take, and there's um yeah, a healthy relationship as opposed to one that is toxic. I say all of these things, and I know that I sound fairly, probably a little bit Pollyanna-esque, where it's like, I just want everything to be great, and I do want that, but I do know that that's not always feasible and that's not always possible. And I also know that, like, that is generally, what am I trying to say? Not everybody wants that. We all want different things. I say that I want these things, but do I really? Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just want to be left alone and leave me the heck alone. Um, yeah, yeah. Some of that probably does come down to a lot of where we're at. And I don't know that I've always realized that. Um, just because I'm ready to have a relationship and move forward, or I'm ready to bare my soul, or ready to take the proverbial knife and cut those wounds open, to let the pus out of relationships, of all the things that have hurt me or hurt the other person, and get that gross out, um, doesn't mean that the other person is. And that's hard because I generally am that person in life. I'll share something. I've been to therapy. I've been to therapy, um, you know, little points in my life, not little points, big, huge points in my life. Um, but I find therapy to be really helpful. If anybody hasn't ever gone to therapy, I'm like, it can be really helpful to kind of work through some things, because I don't believe that we all know everything. I do not know every single stinking thing. So I'm a big fan of that. Um, but something that my therapist mentioned to me, he just had mentioned, he's like, "Wow, you're really one of those people that need closure, aren't you?" And he was talking in reference to, I'll have to maybe talk about it in a different video, but um, I definitely need closure, and I've definitely done very grand, over the top ways to try to get it, in relation to, some exes, some boyfriends that I had. And oh, I cringe, world. I cringe at some of the things, some of the people that I've dated. Oh, you poor souls. Like, because some of it had nothing to do with you, and it was about things that I was internally dealing with and I didn't know it, and yada yada yada. But again, I'm human, they're human, we give each other some grace as we hopefully can. Um, but yeah, that comes into play quite a bit too, with things that I'm realizing probably more now as I'm aging and getting older, and didn't know when I was a little bit younger. Um, and the holidays are coming, and I don't think that I'm always going to be able to sound, oh, so enlightened, like, oh, meet people where they're at, and like, don't I say all these things in this monologue, but good grief, people, like, I am one feisty, I almost was gonna swear there. I am feisty, and if I feel like I am, something for me is, it's like, I really want to be heard. Marsha, 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 isn't that what Jan Brady would always say? She was the middle child. And I definitely think that, I can tell for me in life, like, when I'm not feeling like I'm being heard, oh my gosh, I do. I can go off like a grenade. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Um, so yeah, the holidays, they're so wonderful and horrible and beautiful and awful. um, yeah, in general, for me, I've had really good experiences with them. Um, and I'm looking forward to them quite a bit. Um, something I do want to share here that is, other than me just having kind of my train of thought going off. Um, I was looking around online before I started recording this because I was a little bit, I just got off the phone and I was having a little bit of a discussion on this topic. And it was a good discussion, but I was just like, huh. So I was looking around online, and I came across on the website tinybuddha.com. tinybuddha.com. There's this article, it's called How to Move On When You're Hurt and Waiting for Closure by Maria Moraca. And I liked some of the writing in here. I'll definitely try to put a link to this in the notes below. So if you're curious to take a look at it, um, I liked where she went with it. I don't think that I really totally understand where she landed at the end, but I'd probably have to read a little bit more about kind of her take and her perspective on the topic to kind of really understand what she was driving at. Um, but I loved, like she mentions in here, she's like, letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. She just quotes, that's from Thich Nhat Hanh, who I believe is, I'm gonna guess he's a Buddhist monk, considering this website. But she said, "Here's the catch. It's pretty common to feel like this resolution. It's pretty Here's the catch. It's pretty common to feel like this resolution is necessary to move forward." Um, and she kind of sets it up before that, and she talks a little bit about our feelings and like, oh my gosh, if I feel like I've been done wrong or something, I need resolution, and like, why did that person do that to me? And they need to explain themselves and blah, 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 blah. Um, There's and then she goes on to share a little bit of a relationship story. But I'm just gonna scroll down. I liked that she goes through a few things at the end that you can actually do that are actionable if you feel like you need resolution or you've been in a relationship and you need resolution. Because I definitely do. And when I don't get it, it's hard. It's hard. Especially in dating relationships, oh, it's really hard. In family relationships too, that is something that I'm currently kind of pondering, is it's like, huh, there isn't really resolution in this. And if there's this constant sort of dissonance, how do I dissonance in outside between this person and I, and inside, because I'm like, okay, how do I'm just not, I don't feel like I'm very good at when we don't get along. It's just like I would strive to want, I don't know. Um, but I like what she says. She says, acknowledge that something crappy happened. And the second thing is identify all the feelings you have. The third thing, I'll just read it and hopefully you can take a look at the article if you're curious, is the third thing is release the need for outside meditation of any sort. Meditation. I was just making sure I was reading that right and not like mediation. Meditation, yeah. I like that she acknowledges the fact that it's like, yep, acknowledge something crappy happened and identify all the feelings you have. Um, yeah, she says this is essential because identification and recognition go hand in hand. In doing this, we're accepting that we are feeling these emotions. And she says this is crucial. I haven't done this quite yet, actually. So I'm gonna ponder that a little bit more and kind of do that and see if it is beneficial or helpful for myself and my own the situations that I'm walking through with family relationships. And yeah, I I don't know about you, but I am looking really forward to the holidays this year. Um, I've done a couple of things that I generally really enjoy doing, which one of them that I love to do around the holidays is I really really love hunting for a good book and gifting it to people, like where I'm like, what would be a book that they just love, and trying to find that and match it up and then give that to them. I love that. I love that hunt, and I don't know. I have a soft spot, obviously, for books, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's because I did. take a look at this little picture. I I was able to get most of my Christmas shopping done early this year, because I heard, like, shipping was gonna be insanely crazy, and I ordered these books, online, and the shipping, it was like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna take them, like, over a month to get here." Nope, nope, just took a few days, which is wonderful, which is a absolutely wonderful. So I'm really, really excited and jazzed for Christmas, because I've got a lot of books to give to a lot of really amazing, wonderful people, and I'm excited to do that. Um, yeah, and I acknowledge the fact that, it's hard with certain people, and it's hard because of past hurts, and it's hard not to carry that baggage with me into some of the stuff, especially when there hasn't been resolution, when there hasn't been, conversation and, like, going through that. Um, Something I know this, I'm very familiar with this, is, having gone through therapy at a couple of points in my life, like, therapy is hard to do well. Like, it is hard work. If anybody is in therapy and they tell you, like, "Oh, yeah, piece of cake," they aren't doing it right, in my opinion. Because 'cause I'm like, "No, it's really hard." Like that metaphor that I said earlier, like, cutting wounds open and, like, letting the pus out, like, that to me is so real and so literal, and, like, therapy reminds me of that, and even it reminds me too of, like, if you're in muck, like, just, like, like, shallow muck water, and you have to dig down and pull out things that are old, and it's like, "How did this rusty, disgusting, foul-smelling thing," and you wipe it off, and it's like, "Oh, this is me, and I actually need to clean this up and, like, actually bring it into the sun and into the light and let that happen," and it's really painful, and I can see why in relationships, my relationships, that it's like, no, I actually in some ways I'm very mature for the work that I've done and gone through in therapy and in facing some of the demons that I've had, or not even demons, like some of the muck and some of the dirt and baggage and gross. Um, So I can hopefully walk into the holidays and with relationships with friends and family, reminding myself that the tools that I've gotten from therapy and things like that are not maybe something that everybody else has. So I'm hoping to try to strive for empathy and things like that with those people that I just um yeah, yeah. I don't know. I go up and down too. Like sometimes it's really just like seems like it's unbearable, and then sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, it's not that big of a deal. Family's family, and everybody has it. So I don't know. I'm curious to hear from people if you have I don't know if you have something to say or something to add to this. Let me know. If I would love, love, love if you have some insight or tips on dealing with family or friends that are hard to deal with around the holidays and like family gatherings, dear God, please share them with me because that would be amazing. I would absolutely love that. Um, yeah, yeah. Cool. All right, everyone. I appreciate you listening and we'll be in touch. Bye.